What's going on, everybody? It's PJ here with the CRNA Drip, and today I'm going to tell you why I decided to leave the ICU for my last travel assignment before I start CRNA school. So, let's get into it. So I'm not even gonna lie, when I got accepted into my first school, my thought was, it's time to travel, it's time to make money, let's get it. And then when that turned out to be a whole chicken shack of an assignment, I thought to myself, why am I stressing out day in and day out? And I start school in about, well, at the time, 7 months. Like, I need to be stress free, I need to be living my life as best as I can before the real stress happens. I'll get enough stress in school. I don't need to be stressed out the day before school and then going right into school. No, it's just not gonna work. So I said, well, what can I do to get out of the ICU? So I started brainstorming and researching, and I said, well, what do I like to do that doesn't really cause me much stress? I don't really have to think about it too much. I can just do it. So since I'm pretty good with IVs, I said, well, let me look up IV therapy assignments and see if I can land one of those. So at first they were trying to give me a little bit of pushback, like, oh, he doesn't have any infusion experience and he hasn't done IV therapy before. And in my mind, I'm like, excuse me, I am a whole critical care nurse. Like, that's all I do is infusions and IVs all day. So I'm not even sure what you're talking about. So I was able to create a resume based off of all of the infusions that I give and my IV skills and using the ultrasound and all that good jazz. And I landed an IV therapy assignment. So what I thought was an IV therapy assignment, which turned out to be an outpatient cancer infusion center, treatment room for cancer patients, which I absolutely love. I love the atmosphere. I love working with my coworkers. It's the same group of people pretty much day in and day out. It's a Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, sometimes earlier, sometimes a little bit later. No weekends, no holidays, no nights. It's a consistent schedule. I love it. Because I'm critical care certified and not oncology certified, I don't do any of the IV chemos. So I actually do a lot of iron infusions, fluids, blood, some IM injections, some subcute injections, and I pretty much start everybody's IV. So I don't know what they're gonna do when I leave, but they gotta figure it out. But I left the ICU because it was just draining me too much. I was leaving work feeling frustrated with the doctors, frustrated with the assignment, frustrated with the schedule. It was just so inconsistent. I wasn't getting good enough sleep. I was tired of it. And I think part of it is because I did get into school and it was like, oh, geez, Louise, like I can actually like breathe and move on to the next thing. So I think that I was just so excited to get things started with school that I was like, well, I mean, my work here is done. So that's pretty much why I left. Now, do I miss the ICU at times? Absolutely. Sometimes I go to work and I'm just hoping that something pops off so that I can actually like critically think and my adrenaline is going. So whenever we have like a rapid response call down in the treatment room for whatever reason, I'm like the first one to the scene. I want to assess what's going on. I'm telling people to go get me a bag of fluids and let's get this open and who's the doctor, reading EKG strips. Like it comes back to me and I'm so excited. I've even posted things on Instagram just giving a shout out to all my critical care nurses and living vicariously through them, because there are days when I really do miss just the critical thinking component and just being in the ICU, being around sick patients, actively titrating drips. There's just nothing like it. So even though I'm happy that I was able to get away from the madness for a little bit before school started, in the back of my mind, like, I'm still a critical care nurse, and there's just no better feeling than being in the ICU, it really isn't. It's stressful at times, and I know there are days where you're just like, I cannot do this. This is chicken shack. But it's very rewarding to know that you are one of the most prestigious nurses in nursing. So I'm happy where I am right now, but there are days when I do miss being right there in the action, in the midst of it all, just getting my hands dirty, gowning up. Ooh, maybe not gowning up. I don't miss that, but just it's a vibe. It's a vibe with the ICU. Like, you're that nurse. You're that nurse. If you're an ICU nurse, you're that nurse. Period. I left also because I wanted to get into a more consistent schedule. I wanted to be doing something every day of the week and not just 3 days a week or 4 days a week, because when I start school, it's going to be school Monday, school Tuesday, school Wednesday, school Thursday, school Friday, school Saturday, school Sunday. I'm going to be doing something every day of the week, so I wanted to get into that mode and get my body ready for just being active every single day. Now, currently, I love the 8 hours. The 8 hours fly by, but about Thursday, I'm like, oh gosh, is it Friday yet? Please, I just want to make it to Friday. So I'm getting used to it. It is taking some adjusting to get to, but I think I'll be fine once school starts. Even though I feel like this assignment is less work critically, I'm still finding things to better myself and my skill sets with. So in the ICU, we do a lot of objective assessments, and we get a lot of data from objective places. So the charts and scans and the monitor, things that we are objectively seeing ourselves. There's not a lot of subjective data going on unless it's from a patient's family member or if the patient is alert enough to tell us certain things. In this assignment, there's so much subjective data going on, and asking the patients, are there any changes that have been going on? How is this going? How is this working out for you? Anything new? You're getting a lot of subjective feedback, and to me, I feel like that helps me prepare for pre-op assessments. That's the one thing I related to. So when I'm going to do a pre-op assessment on a patient for a case, I'm not afraid to ask certain questions, or I'm comfortable asking questions and interpreting their feedback to see if I need to ask more questions or if I have a sufficient amount of data to make a plan from. So that is one thing that I am learning to do while I'm on this assignment. Also, I'm continuously working on things like priming my lines to perfection, no bubbles at all. I hate having the air in the line message pop up out of nowhere, and I'm like, what is going on? So doing that, I'm sticking almost everybody in the treatment room at the time, if it's a quote-unquote hard stick. So I'm still progressing my IV skills and accessing ports, which I don't think I'll do much in anesthesia, I'm not sure, but it's just that hand-eye coordination and that technical skill of using your hands and getting comfortable doing certain motions that will benefit you. So I'm always looking to benefit myself from this assignment. It's not just let me just chill out and forget everything that I know. No, I'm still thinking about the next step and what to do next and how is this going to benefit me once I'm in school. So that's something that I've challenged myself to do during this assignment. Do I think it's a good idea to leave the ICU once you get accepted into school? Absolutely. Do I think it's a good idea to stay in the ICU and sharpen up on your skills? Absolutely. It just depends on what you want to do at the time and how you feel. I don't think there's anything wrong with leaving. I don't think there's anything wrong with staying. I just know for me, I wanted to leave. I wanted to have something, more aligned with what I felt like I needed to prepare myself for anesthesia school. So, to each his own, and I'm happy with my decision. I do miss the ICU. I do miss being in the surgical ICU or even the CV ICU. Hell, I even miss being in neuro at times, but not that much. So yeah, that's what prompted me to leave the ICU. Like I said, I am happy with where I am. I do have a little bit less than a month left with this assignment. So, or actually, I do have a little bit over a month left with this assignment before I am done. at the bedside. I am taking the whole month of December off to just kind of decompress and really get my mind into more of a student mode. So I'll be kind of prepping things on my computer and organizing and, you know, getting ready to make the big move. So I'm just ready for it. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, turn on your post notifications. Visit me at the srnadrip.com. A lot of good content, a lot of good merch, a lot of good resources. Everything is going to be linked down below. So with that being said, I'm out.